Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, we'll be taking up sentence, its definition and types today. So let me write it down. Sentence, types and definition. Coming to the definition part of the sentence, it's referred to as the building block of any and every language. A sentence is defined grammatically as a group of words arranged in a definite order to give perfect sense. So, there are two elements to be remembered. Number one, a group of words. Number two, its definite arrangement. Let's first study what this arrangement is. So far as English language is concerned, the order of arranging its words of a sentence is SVO, where S stands for subject, V stands for verb, and O stands for object. So, three elements or constituents of a sentence are its subject, its verb, and its object. We must have all the three together. Sometimes we can make a sentence by using only two of these three ingredients. For example, I teach. I teach. That's subject and verb. Open the door. That's verb and object. However, we can never make a sentence without a verb. Though we can make it either without subject or without verb, but only sometimes, not always. Now, so far as the definition part of the sentence is concerned, let's elaborate it a bit. We come to the conclusion that a sentence must have three elements: subject, verb, and object. We can drop out subject, we can drop out object, but we can never drop out verb. So, verb, it's called the golden law of the language, that we can make a sentence without subject, make a sentence without an object, but we can never make it without a verb. Right? Now, let's go to the types of sentences. It's to be dealt with on two levels. Number one, on the level of meaning, that is, so far as meaning is concerned, how many types of a sentence do we have? And number two, so far as its structure is concerned. Taking up the meaning aspect, a sentence can be of, broadly speaking, 5 types. Let me write down those types one by one. Number one, it is affirmative. That's a sentence showing agreement. Number two, negative. A sentence showing disagreement. Number three, imperative. That is a sentence expressive of order, request, advice, command, warning, threatening, etc. Number four, exclamatory sentences. That's those sentences which express joy, which are expressive of joy, sorrow, or surprise in its extreme fashion. That's all. What a warm dates today. Wow, we have won the match, like that. And then the fifth type is negative interrogative. In addition to these, this affirmative sentence can be sometimes optative, sometimes assertive, etc., etc. Now, so far as the structured part of the sentence of the definition is concerned, we are to deal with this in these two classes, that's 11th and 12th, not the meaning part of the sentence and its types. Well, let's take it in detail, discuss it in detail. Structurally speaking, sentences can be of four types only. Namely, number one, simple sentence. Number two, complex sentence. Number three, compound sentence. And number four, mixed sentence. Let's take them up one by one. First, simple sentence. A simple sentence is of course a group of words arranged in a definite order, taking up only one verb and giving perfect sense. For example, I am a teacher. I teach English. We are students. They are our friends. All these sentences comprise of only one verb giving us perfect sense. We don't need any additional words to complete the sense of these sentences. So, number two, now let's go to the complex sentence. A complex sentence is a sentence that uses more than one verb. More than one verb. I didn't say two. I didn't say 100. No, it's more than one. It can be two. It can be more than even 100. Now, each verb forming a clause of its own, and clause is referred to as the family of the verb. So, a complex sentence comprises of more than one verb, each verb forming a clause of its own, and the different clauses thus formed are joined together with the help of simple conjunctions, or in other words, connectives. These connectives are that when, where, how, why, who, which, if, because, etc. So, when a sentence is formed by using more than one verb, each verb having a clause of its own, and the different clauses thus formed joined either to the principal clause or to each other. Such a sentence is with the help of connectives, such a sentence is referred to as a complex sentence. Now let me give you an example. When I saw him, I greeted him. The thief ran away because he was afraid of a policeman. I saw him. One clause, I greeted him. Another clause. The two clauses are joined together with the help of when. So when here acts as connect to. Here the thief ran away. One clause with ran as its verb because connect to. He was afraid. Another verb of policeman. So complex sentence is the one that uses more than one verb, each forming a clause, and the different clauses joined together with the help of connectives. Connectives, I have given a list of them. Okay, then again going to the complex sentence, it can have only one principal or independent clause and many, more than one subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses are the ones which begin with connectives. While as a principal clause never takes up a connective. Here in this sentence, this one, I greeted him, acts as principal clause, and this, since it starts with a connective, it acts as a subordinate clause. A subordinate clause. So it has a principal clause and a subordinate clause. Here again, the thief ran away, acts as principal clause because it doesn't take up any connective, while as this one, starting with because is a connective, so it is a subordinate clause, subordinate to the principal one. Of course, subordinate clauses can be subordinate to each other also. Not only to the principal clause, but to each other also. Let me write down a sentence of that type. He wept because he was rebuked when he committed a mistake. He wept. Acts as principal clause. Since this clause starts with because, so it is a subordinate clause, subordinate to the principal clause. He was rebuked. Then this one, when was he rebuked? When he committed a mistake. So this clause is subordinate only to this subordinate clause. Subordinate clause number 1. So I mean to say that subordinate clauses can be subordinate to principal clause or subordinate to each other as well. Now let us take up these subordinate clauses again. Subordinate clauses can be of 4 types now. Number 1, noun clause, subordinate noun clause. Number 2, subordinate adjective clause. And number 3, adverbial clause. Adverbial clause, of course, the principal clause being the 4th one, though that's not a subordinate clause itself. So make a correction over here. We can have a principal clause and 3 different types of subordinate clauses, namely noun clause, adjective clause, and adverbial clause. Let's discuss these clauses threadbare on some other occasion. Now going to the 3rd type of sentence, that is a compound sentence. It is a sentence that uses more than one verb. Again, similar to complex definition, but only the first verb forms a principal clause, while as the other verbs are coordinated or joined with the principal clause itself with the help of compound conjunctions or only conjunctions. And the conjunctions are and, or, because of, so that, such that, as if, no sooner than, as soon as, while as, along with, together with. Let me cite an example of a compound sentence. The thief saw the policeman and ran away. So, and conjuncts the second verb ran with the principal verb, does not form or does not constitute another clause. It is called a coordinate clause or a compound clause. Or he fell ill because of overeating. Because of compound conjunction joining the second clause with the first one, or coordinating the second verb with the principal clause. Let you differentiate between the complex and the compound with the same verb. For example, he fell ill because he ate too much of food. He fell ill because he ate too much of food. Because makes it a complex sentence and makes the second clause a subordinate clause. He fell ill because of overeating. So because of does not constitute another clause, only coordinates the second verb with the principal clause. Then there is the third type of sentence, that is the fourth type of sentence, that is mixed sentence. It is the one which uses elements of all the three types of sentences. That is, some part of it is simple, some is complex, and some other is compound. For example, I ran away when I saw the policeman and took shelter in a nearby house. I ran away. Simple. When I saw the policeman, when constitutes a subordinate clause, subordinate only to the principal one, and the third, and took shelter in a nearby house, and conjuncts the third verb with the second one. So it is a mixed sentence because it contains the properties of all the three other types of the sentences. That will do for the day. We'll take up the rest tomorrow. In order to help you understand these different types of sentences, let's frame some examples, starting from the simple sentence. Remember, it is a sentence that uses only one verb. I ran away from the ground. He helped me. She stood first in the examination. You can make 5 more sentences in order to in which you will use only one verb with a subject and an object. Now, let me repeat, it is the one which uses more than one verb, each forming a clause of its own, and the different clauses joined by means of or with the help of connectives, also referred to as simple conjunctions. Let me exemplify. Number 1, he saw me and he saw me when I was crossing the road. If you do not work hard, you will not pass the examination. Number 3, he said that he would top the list. Repeating the definition again, this type of a sentence is the one that uses more than one verb, each forming a clause of its own. For example, here the first verb is saw and here it was crossing. This forms one clause and this forms another clause. The two clauses are joined by when. Here again, not work. Work is verb, will not pass is another verb. So two verbs forming two different clauses. First one, a subordinate clause because of a connective, and the second one, an independent clause, also referred to as principal clause. Here again, he said. Said is one verb and would top another verb. So two verbs forming one sentence. First one forming a principal clause and the second one forming a subordinate clause. Now discussing a compound sentence once again, let me repeat, is a sentence that uses more than one verb, only one forms a perfect clause and the rest are subordinate or coordinated with the principal clause with the help of conjunctions or compound conjunctions, which are and, or, but, as if, because of. A compound sentence is the one that uses more than one verb, like complex sentence. But the difference is that while as a complex sentence results in the formation of different clauses, only one of which is referred to as principal clause and the others as subordinate clauses, the compound sentence results in the formation of one principal clause and a number of coordinate clauses which are joined or coordinated with the principal clause with the help of link words referred to as conjunctions, and these are number one, and, or, because of, so that, such that, not only but also, as soon as, while as, but, etc. So a sentence that results in the formation of one principal clause and a number of coordinate clauses, coordinated with the principal clause with the help of conjunctions like and, or, because of, so that, such that, not only but also, as soon as, while as, but, etc., or is referred to as a compound sentence. Now, let me give you some examples. Number one, he saw the teacher and greeted him. But for his lack of knowledge, he failed. He fell ill because of overeating. Let's take the advantage of this fell in order to differentiate between complex sentence and a compound sentence. Remember, when we say he fell ill because he ate a lot of food, it makes a complex sentence. And when we say he fell ill because of overeating, though the connotation is same, meaning is same, but construction is different. This type of construction is referred to as compound construction. Now, let's take up the last one. The fourth type of the sentence, as you know, is mixed sentence. I've already told you. It contains the elements of all the other three types of sentence, that is simple, complex, and compound. Or should I say, it comprises of a conjunction or more than one conjunction, compound conjunction, and simple conjunction that's connective. Let me give you some examples. Number one, when he crossed the road, he stepped into a shop and bought some garments. So look at it. When is a connective a simple conjunction and is a compound conjunction. So this sentence comprises of number one, a connective and a conjunction, and thus the elements of all the three types of sentence. Number 2, I saw him, greeted him, and offered him a bunch of flowers. These are the examples of a mixed sentence. That will do for the day.